Shabbat Shalom. For those of you who are new or don't know me, we do have a new couple here, so be friendly. My name's Judy Heller. This is Sharon Lemon. We have lay services through some parts of the summer, particularly right before the festival. Don't forget that I'll do the pre-announcement. Festival is Sunday. Please come. Unless you're already working, in which case you're coming. So we will start with the song Bim Bam, which is not in your in the prayer book, but has the 4 words Bim Bam Shabbat Shalom. So I think we can handle that. Bim Bam Bim 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 Bam Bim 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 Bam Bim Bam Bim 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 Bam Bim 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 Bam Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat Shalom Shabbat 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 Shalom. And we'll continue on page 6.
May the door of this synagogue be wide enough to receive all who hunger for love, all who are lonely for friendship. May it welcome all who have cares to unburden, thanks to express, hope to nurture. May the door of this synagogue be narrow enough to shut out pettiness and pride, envy and enmity. May its threshold be no stumbling block to young or straying feet. May it be too high to admit complacency, selfishness, and harshness. May this synagogue be, for all who enter, the doorway to a richer and more meaningful life.
And Sarah will lead us in lighting the candles. Which is on page 2. And we will continue with Shalom Aleichem on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Borchuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidchem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim HaKadosh And we have Chatzi Kaddish on page 26. Yit Kadal, Yit Kadash Shemei Rabba, Be'alma Divrach Yurte, Be'almich Machute, B'chayechon Uv'yomechon, Uv'chai Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ba'agala, Uv'izman Karib, B'meru Amen. Yehesh me Rabba Mavorach, Le'olam U'me'almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yitbarach, V'yitparah, V'yitmaran, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shemei Dekudasha Perichu, Le'lo min kol berchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiran ve'alma, V'meru Amen. Please stand for the Baruch Hu if you are able, on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai, HaMevorach, Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, Le'olam va'ed.
Page 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Arabim. And on page 32, everlasting love. You offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people, Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Israel.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Le'olam va'ed. Please be seated. We're going to read the Behavta in English, and it is on page 7. I like this reading. 37.
Oh, 37.
I did say 7. I apologize.
Yes, you did.
Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai, your God.
Page 39. Responsibly, please. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Die, 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 la die, 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 yai, die, 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 yada, die, 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 yai, die, 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 yada, die, 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 yai, die, 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 yada, die, 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 die. Mihi chamocha bo'elim Adonai, mihi chamocha nedar b'kodesh. No rati lo o sefela, no rati lo to sefela, malachutecha ra'u vanecha, bokeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, ze'eli anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam ha'ed. Ve'amar kifada Adonai et Yaakov, u'galom yirad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Page 42. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up our guardian to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel for your name's sake. Be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukkot shalom aleinu va'al kol amo Israel va'al Yerushalayim.
And we will sing Yismechu, which is on the bottom of page 44. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, 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 shahabat v'korei, oneg shahabat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, shomrei, 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 shahabat v'korei, oneg shahabat. Mikadeshe, Mikadeshe Shavihi Shahabat, Kulam Yeshahu, V'yitkenu Metu V'cha Shahabat, Yismechu V'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shahabat V'korei, Oneg Shahabat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shahabat v'korei, Oneg Shahabat, V'hashvi ratzita bo v'kidosh to Shahabat, Chemdat Yahamim, Oto karata Shahabat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, 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 Shabbat v'korei, Oneg Shabbat, Zecher lamahaseh, lamahaseh v'reishit Shabbat, Zecher lamahaseh, lamahaseh v'reishit Shabbat. We will please rise for the tefillah, which begins on the next page and continues for several. Adonai sifatafti ta ufia gita hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Kanei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umuvi Gula Livnei Vehem, Laman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh Kol Atah Rav Lahoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechael HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Zomech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha, Bal Givurot, Umido Mehelach, Melech Memihi, Tumachaye, Umatznia Yeshua, Benaman atah lecheot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukodeshim b'chol yom yahalucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated.
At the top of 55, may these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Ritzeh is on the top of page 57. Ritzeh, Ritzeh, Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu, Be'amcha Yisrael, U'tefilatam, Le'an U'tehila ratzon tamid, U'tehila ratzon tamid, Avodat Yisrael Amecha, Baruch atah Adonai, She'otecha levadecha, B'yira navot, Shotecha levadecha, V'yirahanavod.
Page 59 at the top. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatoshinka ulka ne'eh lahodot. And page 61 at the top. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Please take a few moments for your own silent prayers or thoughts. Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi v'yagon libi lefanecha Adonai tsuri v'gohali Yehiyu l'ratzon imrefi. So we are not taking the Torah scroll out tonight, but I will read some Torah text, and I'm going to summarize some other Torah texts for reasons I will tell you. But for those of you who want to follow along in the Torah reading, it is, I'm reading Numbers 5, 6 through 10, and it is page 925 in Plout, if you brought one in. And I'm going actually to say the blessing over Torah study before. They're the big books. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. And it reads, Speak to the Israelites. When men or women individually commit any wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking faith with Adonai, and they realize their guilt, they shall confess the wrong that they have done. They shall make restitution in the principal amount and add 1/5 to it, giving it to the one who was wronged. If that party is deceased and has no kin to whom restitution can be made, the amount repaid shall go to Adonai for the priest, in addition to the ram of expiation with which expiation is made on their behalf. so too any gift among the sacred donations that the Israelites offer shall be the priest's, and each shall retain his sacred donations. Each priest shall keep what is given to him. So I'm actually going into the sermon while I talk about the next Torah portion. The Torah portion that I just read is immediately followed by the account of the sotah. The ritual of the sotah, which concerns a woman who is accused of infidelity by a jealous husband, is long detailed and better summarized for a Shabbat service. That is one, but not the only reason that I read the preceding portion of the Torah. The other reason, as I will explain near the end, is that I believe that these two portions are really connected to one another. A summary of the case of the sotah, which is in Numbers 5:11 to 31, if you want to read it, is as follows. A man suspects his wife of cheating, but there are no witnesses against her. The scenario in which his accusation makes any sense is one in which she is pregnant and he has reason to believe that the child is not his. For example, he had been traveling or in the army for a year and came home to find his wife is 6 months pregnant. However, it is also used when a husband is simply in a state of jealousy and accuses his wife of infidelity. The end of the portion about the sotah states, quote, "This is the ritual in cases of jealousy, when a woman goes astray while living in her husband's household and defiles herself, or when a fit of jealousy comes over a husband and he is wrought up over his wife. The woman shall be made to stand before Adonai, and the priest shall carry out all this ritual with her." In the ritual of the sotah, the husband brings his wife to the priest along with a meal offering of jealousy. The priest uncovers the woman's hair and makes her drink water containing earth from the floor of the Mishkan or the temple, either one, and the ink from a written curse containing the 4-letter name of God. If the woman is innocent, the ritual should have no effect on her, but if she has been unfaithful, the priest warns, quote, "May the Eternal make you a curse and an imprecation among your people, as the Eternal causes your thigh to sag and your belly to distend." As Rabbi Leah Berkovitz notes, quote, "Many elements of this ritual might disturb a modern reader, particularly one concerned with the bodily autonomy of women. But for me," that's Berkovitz, "what is most troubling is that this ordeal is driven entirely by the husband's jealousy. We read elsewhere that adultery is punishable by death. This ritual only occurs when there is no proof, that is, witnesses, 2 of them, that adultery has taken place. The purpose of this ritual is to reassure the husband of the paternity of his children and the fidelity of his wife. It is an attempt to restore family relations and to protect a woman who, by definition, was vulnerable in ancient Israel and any of her children. The ongoing importance of protecting women, children, and family relations can be seen hundreds of years later when the early rabbis made biological claims that they knew to be false, such as the ability of a sperm to live inside of a woman for a few months before she becomes pregnant. This claim, with their encouragement that even a traveling merchant should get home to his wife at least once a year, allowed them to look the other way for the protection of the vulnerable. In reading this week's Parsha, in light of the ongoing anti-Semitic attacks, I was struck by 2 ideas within chapter 5. The first, from the portion which I read, is the notion of making restitution when one is aware of having wronged or hurt someone. The second, from the case of the sotah, is the notion of jealousy. I will start with exploring jealousy. Americans are inclined to mix the terms jealousy and envy. The dictionary definitions of the terms are as follows. Envy, a feeling of discontented or resentful longing aroused by someone else's possessions, qualities, or luck, or a desire to have a quality, possession, or other desirable attribute belonging to someone else. The first definition of jealousy is quote, a resentment against a rival or person enjoying success or advantage against one. The closeness of that definition to envy is clear and is often how people use the word. Someone might say, I'm so jealous of your going on vacation this month, or I am jealous of your having such a supportive boss. The closeness of that understanding of jealousy with envy is clear. The second definition of jealousy is a state of mental uneasiness caused by suspicion or fear of rivalry or unfaithfulness. Psychologists often expand that definition by arguing that jealousy, quote, can consist of one or more emotions such as anger, resentment, inadequacy, helplessness, or disgust. If we are to find modern meaning in this archaic ritual, perhaps the best question is what it says about the nature of jealousy. Not jealousy confused with envy, but a jealousy rooted in feelings of inadequacy and helplessness. Rabbi Berkovitz asserts that one truth we might find buried in the Sota ritual is how often we grasp at certainty in challenging times. This text is placed near the beginning of the book of Numbers, that is, in Hebrew, the book of Bamidbar, in the wilderness. How will the Israelites deal with their fears and sense of uncertainty as they enter an unknown and frightening place of transition? Often it will be with impatience and haste on the part of everyone, from the people to Moses to God. The need for certainty, predictability, and human connection is a basic need of most people. For the ancient Israelites, the Sota ritual seemed to offer a sense of certainty. God would be the ultimate judge and give a clear answer. Dr. Aviva Zornberg writes that while the ideal of the Sota ritual is that all ambiguity will be resolved, the reality is quite different. Total certainty can never be achieved in human affairs. The Sota ordeal may seek to heal the world of its fractures, its lusts, and jealousies, but it remains nevertheless an imperfect solution to the human need for certainty. In the last 3 weeks, or the last 613 days, or last several years, the chaotic uncertainty for Jews, for Americans, and for much of the world has led too many people on too many sides of complicated issues to search for and claim certainty. Living in the truth that people we love and people we dread are all suffering and afraid is an exhausting place to be. I am reminded of a line from a poem by Danny Siegel. Lord, I am good sometimes, but tired. It is a line that has come back to me often in the last couple days when I have felt silenced or have lashed out in response to the terror. Rabbi Zornberg's words about people looking for safety and certainty, whether in ritual or in a group promoting rigid beliefs that can never fully be achieved, speaks to a deep Jewish truth. We live in a fractured world and have an obligation to do our part to engage in acts of tikkun olam in order to repair it. That need for repair draws me back to my first Torah reading. Quote, speak to the Israelites when men or women individually commit any wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking faith with Adonai, and they realize their guilt. They shall confess the wrong that they have done. They shall make restitution in the principal amount and add 1/5 to it, giving it to the one who was wronged. Even in the best of circumstances, we will hurt those we love. How much more so will we hurt those with whom we are in conflict or who threaten our well-being and survival? We have a right and a need to defend ourselves, but we also have an obligation to see every human being as B'Tselem Elohim, made in the image of God. If we lose that truth, lose that whatever choices have to be made for self-protection, that we are always dealing with other human beings who have needs for safety, food, housing, healthcare, community, and love. If we forget that, we will lose our own humanity. We will fail one another, whether by necessity or inattention. When a man or a woman commits a wrong toward a fellow human being, thus breaking faith with Adonai, or more correctly, the word is Yahweh, whose name essentially means being or existence, and they realize their guilt, they shall confess the wrong they have done and make restitution. Social conflicts can make all involved guilty. All are victims, all are perpetrators. We are all the women who cheated on her husband, and the husband jealous for no good reason. Somewhere in all that brokenness and pain, we will ultimately have to confess the wrongs we have done for the sake of our survival or the sake of our jealous, fear-driven anger. Like the husband and wife in the case of the Sota, we will need to work towards finding our way back to relationships with one another in this country and the world at large, based on a mutual understanding of our humanity. We will need to confess our guilt and forgive others. May God guide our paths to wholeness and restitution with the light of compassion for ourselves as well as for others. And let us say, Amen. While we are thinking of and speaking about Torah, we will say Nishabarach for those in need of healing, which is on page 253 when we get there. This week, we are thinking about Marcia Shearer, Linda Shapiro, Mary Lucid, Paul Burt, Kaylin Carter, Enrique Senyi, Bunny Lauderman, Jordan Pak, Leah Gittel Ufisha, Beth Harlan, Marla Harlan, Marlene Mayman, Richard Lapides, Harry Rich, Johanna Smith, Julie Bainbridge, Chaim Simcha Ben Moshe Miriam Devora, Augustine Green, Binyamina Bat Shalva Va'adam, Ella Dubrow, Jeremy Watts, Brandon Watts, Bert Seidel, Isaac Spicer, Norman and Carol Least, Rob Mondell, Ken Rosenzweig, Kyla Krittler, Anna Pullman Garcia, Casimir Cairo, Catherine Cooper, Sid Gross, Cicely Nathan, Gary Pasternak, and also the hostages who are still in Gaza and those who were injured in Boulder on last Sunday. Is there anyone else for whom we are saying Kaddish? Not Kaddish. Yishabarach. Please join me in the middle of page 253. Mi sheberach Avoteinu Makor habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We continue with Aleinu on page 282, and please rise if you are able. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latet gudla leotzer breshit, shelo sanu kikhe aratzon, leso shamanu kishmechot hakad, shelo ksam kelkenu kachem, vegor aleinu kichol hamonam, vanachnu korim umishachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad ushemo 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 echad. Please be seated. As we begin the end of our service and think of those whom death has either recently or taken from us or in times past, we will start with a reading on page 292. We have lived in numerous towns and villages, and in too many of them we have endured cruel suffering. Some we have forgotten, others are sealed in our memory. A wound that does not heal, 100 generations of victims and martyrs until their blood cries out from the earth, and so many at Dachau, at Buchenwald, at Babi Yar. What can we say? What can we do? How do we bear the unbearable, or accept what life has brought to our people? All who are born must die, but how shall we compare the slow passage of time with the callous slaughter of the innocent, cut off before their time? They lived with faith, not all but many, and surely many died with faith in God, in life, in the goodness that even flames cannot destroy. May we find a way to the strength of that faith, that trust, that sure sense that life and soul endure beyond this body's death. They have left their lives to us, left a million prayers rise wherever Jews worship, left a million candles glow against the darkness of their unfinished lives. This week, we are in a period of Aninut for Natalie Katz, and we are remembering the yahrzeits of Gloria Albert, Carol Askew, Blake William Bowell, Martha Kaplan, Claude Carpenter, Sidney Copeland, Lee Crafton, Elaine Donenfeld, Rosala Epstein, William Fleece, Kitty Friedman, Bertha Levine Goldberg, Harold Goldberg, Grace Goldberger, Randall Gossett, Eliza Hertzman, Laura Heller, Rolana Kisleva, Edward Klaben, Lois Kuck, Evelyn Leibovich, Kate Levine, Marguerite Margolis, Ethel Ann Mink, Edward L. Phillips, Rebecca Polaski, Gabriel Polak, Vicki Pullman, Mark Romanofsky, Elmer Rao, Tammy Rich Smith, Ellen Rosenthal, Thomas Rutman, Julia Rutman, Howard Skolowski, Emma Schwab, Jeanette Schwartz, Henry Sloan, Dr. James Sneederman, Lois Supri, Florence Tenenbaum, Herman Wasserman, Thomas Weprin. Is there anyone else for whom we are saying Kaddish or whose name needs to be pronounced correctly? Let those who are in mourning rise first. And may the rest of us join them on page 294. Yit Kadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Hirute v'yal Mechmachute, B'chai Echon u'vyom Echon, u'v'chai Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agal v'zman Kariv v'maru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mavarach Le'alam Almei Almaya. Yit Barach v'yishtabach v'yit Pa'ar v'yit Raman v'yit Naseh, v'yit Hadar v'yit Halei v'yit Halal, Shemei Dekudashah Berechu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'maru Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shmaya, v'haim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'maru Amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'maru Amen. May their memories always and only be for a blessing. Please be seated. We will finish with, vote for Oseh Shalom or Ein Keloheinu, because I chose one. Okay, if no one cares, we'll do Ein Keloheinu. It's on page 322. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kamalkeinu, Ein Kamoshienu, Micheloheinu, Michadonenu, Michel Malkeinu, Mikamoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Elonenu, Nodel El Malkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom, and please join us for Motzi and Kiddush. I don't know if they have any sweets out there, but please join us for Motzi and Kiddush outside.